Hi everybody, welcome to my new video. In this video I will talk about environment variables. So I will speak about the reason why using environment variables, the different types of environment variables, and I will finish this video with the demo of how to create different types of environment variables. So environment variables are values that impact the processes and behavior of running on computer systems and OS environments. Running programs may access environment variable values for configuration purposes. Why use environment variables? So we have three main different reasons for using environment variables. The first one is to securing data. For example, to store AWS secret keys, the cloud, or store general access codes, for example, user and password to access to database, for example. The second reason is to isolate critical application configuration data. And the third one is to decouple configuration data from the code. We have three types of environment variables: the system environment variables, the user environment variables, and the third one is process environment variables. And now I will show you how to add system environment variables using PowerShell command or graphic mode, and how to add user environment variable with PowerShell command, graphic mode, and how to add the third type of environment variable, which is the process environment variable. Okay, so to do that, I will need to launch PowerShell interface like this, and I will copy this, I will copy this command allowing us to add. So I will try to launch. Okay, so I will try to create a new system environment variable. So var system var1, for example, and here we will put system value 1. So I have an exception when calling set environment variable access to registry. Okay. This error because I have to launch interface PowerShell using administrator mode. So I will try to launch PowerShell using administrator mode, and I will try to copy the same command like this. Okay, so normally I will check if this new variable is really created or no. So I will try to display the list of system environment variables. So my new variable is system var1. Normally, yeah, so as you can see, we have this new environment variable created here. Okay, so I can do exactly the same thing using this interface with clicking on new button here, and I will enter here the name of a new variable that I wanted to create. For example, test system var1 and test system value 1, like this. So and this new environment variable is created here. Okay, so now I will show you how to create the user environment variable. So I think that we have almost the same command to execute comparing to the first case. So I copy this command here, and I will try to modify the name and the value of this new environment variable that we want to create. So we will call it val1, for example, and here I will put, for example, user var1 like this, and I will check in the list of user environment variable here. So as you can see, we find here my new user var1 created, and similarly we can do exactly the same thing using this interface on clicking on this new button, and I will put the name of the new variable that I want to create, user var1, and here user value 1, for example. I will try to put here variable 1 like this, yeah, and as you can see, the new variable is created successfully using this interface. Okay, and now I will show you how to create the third type of environment variables, which is the process environment variables. The process environment variables are the environment variables which are present in the config files of the machine. So as you can see here, we have in the path C, Windows, System32, inetserv config, we have the configuration file of the server, the configuration file of the machine. So the name of this file is application hosts.config. So I will try to open it. Yeah. So as you can see here, for this moment, I have no environment variables. So I will try to create one or two environment variables in this application host.config. So to do that, I just need to execute this command. The first case is add process environment variable with PowerShell command, and I will show you how we can do exactly the same thing using the graphic mode, IIS graphics mode. So I will go here. Oh, sorry. I will try to copy just this, and I will try to use for normally here. Just to, I will choose PowerShell languages, and I will try to indent and to write fine this command. Okay, so as you can see, I will try to create two variables environment. The first one is process var1, and the second one is process var2 with the value 1 and the value 2. Yeah, like this. Yeah. So I will copy this, and I will go to here. Oh, I have an error. What does it mean, this error? So name. So what is the problem? Ah, yeah, okay. So here I have my, I think that you have to add, try to do it like this. Okay, so I will try to execute this. Okay, so I will check in the file, the configuration file of the machine. So I will go to this path, C, Windows System 32 inetserv.config, and I will try to open this file. And as you can see, I created two environment variables, process var1 and process var2, as expected with the first method using PowerShell command. Okay, so we can do exactly the same thing using the interface, but the interface of IIS, the web server IIS, I have just to go in the interface of IIS here. So as you can see in my command what I used a moment ago here, I created two environment variables which will be associated to the website named API.NET Core Demo. So in IIS, I must have here a website with the name API.NET Core Demo, and I can find it here. So if I click here in editor configuration, and I will search the configuration file of the server of the machine, so application host.config here. As you can see, I had created two environment variables which I can display here, process var1 and process var2, as you can see, which are also present in application config, the file config of the server. So using this interface, I can create another environment variables, which is the same method and similar method using the command PowerShell. So I have just to go here, and I will choose the application host config file here, and I will click here in this button, and I will click on button R, and I will put the name of my new environment variable, for example var1, and I will put here the value of this variable, so for example value 1, like this, and I will close this screen, and I will click here on the button apply. And normally now if I click here, as you can see, we have three environment variables, and my last one added by interface is present here. So if I try to open the application hot.config, the configuration file of the server of my machine, I must have normally three environment variables, and as you can see, I have exactly three environment variables. The first one and the second one are created using the command PowerShell, and the third one is created using IIS interface. Thank you for watching this video, and don't hesitate to like it and subscribe to my channel. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.